All right, guys, how you doing? Another episode with Marvelous Packs. Excited to be here, get my channel going. Thank you for those of you that like the stuff. Please subscribe, give me a like. I appreciate that so much. I wanted to kind of look at the store and I wanted to kind of look at the comics today. I know that a lot of content providers out there talk about different collectibles like Disney, Star Wars. I'm kind of come at it from a comic perspective. If we look at the order of the comic drops, we can see that there was Jubilee recently and the Young Avengers, which people talk about the Young Avengers with spec, like it's a possible giant size X Men 1. Now, what I mean by that is Giant Size X Men 1 has a lot of first appearances. And when that comic does come to the app, I think it'll do a lot better than this Young Avengers 1, even though this also does have a lot of first appearances. You have the Young Avengers team that's forming with Kate Bishop, Wiccan, Speed, so a lot of characters in there that we've seen in the MCU that we know we're going to get probably even more of them because they're forming a team of Young Avengers. You can tell from all the Disney Plus series. You have these young characters like Miss Marvel, and lots more to come. With this Jubilee comic, it didn't sell out right away, but still underrated Uncanny X-Men book that sells frequently raw for over 100 $150. Like if it looks like it's in great condition, and the graded ones do, like, especially at 9.8, would do 400. So it's a very good book. And it has spec future with the X-Men being renewed in the MCU. So I think that's a steal, now that it is sold out. If you see people flooring it below 2 gems, below 3 gems, those days of cheap gems are going to come to an end very fast. So I think that's a really good book that if you're on a low budget, and we don't all have millions. I don't have like lots of gems to go spend on everything, so I have to like kind of pick what I'd like to spec on too. So that could be a good opportunity. I only have a couple, but I want to get more as the price dips, because there's going to be a chance, a window of opportunity between now and San Diego Comic Con that I think you're not going to see these new people coming in, and more people are going to be able to cash out at the same time. So you're going to start seeing things selling more. The Todd McFarlane cover arts are very underrated. I mean, they're great. As a series, reading it as a kid, it was a really fun read, and I really enjoyed his art. His art was just next level. Like if you actually go through these books, if you have them, like take them in augmented reality, have your coffee, and enjoy it. Enjoy the story, because you could get the whole set so cheap as well, and that's just like a fun read. And number one is doing really well still. So number one, let's look at let's see. These books, Alpha Flight, I think Alpha Flight is the only one that hasn't sold out yet. Let's see if it is available in the store to purchase still. Yeah. So this one is still available retail, probably selling super cheap. And to me, it's not necessarily the best opportunity. That's kind of a good sign that people see that this isn't a very good comic. And it's not to say anything against that it came out for the Pride Month. I think they could have picked better options. I think they picked a comic where they're trying to tell us, like, hey, we're gonna have to let the market decide what they value and see if they're intelligent enough to know about this. Now, if North Star does come to the MCU, that might change things a bit. And with Veve predicting or giving us hints at things, it could be a spec play, but it's not one that I want to risk on. But you can see it still hasn't even sold out. The market's pretty much dictated that it's available for people to buy at retail and in the market. So this didn't do well on drop. This is probably one of the only comics I've ever seen that didn't sell out on the app. Very unique cover, and it's pretty cool because it really, it's a gamble. You put 6.99, you still have a chance at a secret rare. It tells us the amount of editions left. Right here you have, um, oh, it doesn't say on here. It usually says in the app. Maybe because I'm looking in the wrong area or something. Let's see. Yeah, on the app it'll tell you though for sure how many are left in each rarity, so you can kind of like calculate your own odds. It's kind of fun to see if maybe you'll hit a secret rare, maybe you'll hit an ultra rare, and that's people like to gamble. That's a fun little gamble right there. But enough of North Star. I talked about North Star too much. Let's go to okay. So Iron Man 55, another opportunity right here. First appearance of Thanos. I mean, like, yeah, Mad Titan. This feels like a no-brainer. Let's see. Listings for sale. I know Thanos has had his time already in the MCU, but I still think Thanos is like that storyline until they make a great next chapter and we see Kang come in. Thanos is one of the goats in the MCU villains, that we're always going to look back and be like, yeah, what a badass. So that could be a good one. There's only 893 listings, so that that could be a really good play right now. And I think it's probably pretty cheap right now because that's another example of a book recently came out. All these books that recently came out in this bull market where people have not, for whatever reasons, not being able to spend enough on these things, but believe me, the whales are still picking up, deals, and they know, like Avengers 4, huge comic. I feel like Avengers 4 also is going to be one of those that is just gonna be below some of the others when it shouldn't be. I mean, first Silver Age appearance of Captain America, that is a excellent book. Sergeant Fury. So they've dropped some really good comics. Like first appearance of Cable is a B tier, but it's still really cheap, and there's like probably less and less being listed. If you'll notice, the listings go down not just because every month they decrease, but also because they're getting bought up. It's not like everybody's listing them at different times. So, yes, they continuously shuffle in and out, but there's less and less. So that means they're still getting bought up. So you got to think about that. Those are opportunities right there. I mean, first appearance of Black Cat, she's coming to the MCU, so that's a spec book. It's a high B plus book if you want to go into the tiers. Vengeance, first, man, this book just sold, I believe, for like 900. I mean, it's doing really well in physical, and the really rare version. Let's look at that cover because yeah, they have it here. This uncommon is a very rare variant in the real world. I mean, that one is like a 1 in 900 type or 1 in 1,000 type Diodato art, So it's really important. I mean, that's a really good book right there. So, um, yeah. And see, it tells you how many you own. It's very cool. I like the web app. I'm still getting used to it. I'm one of the last people to get it, of course, with my luck. I've only gotten one secret rare on this app on a drop from a comic. So I know that's one more than a lot of other people, but they are hard to hit. They really are. Strange Tales 110. See, we're still in the bull market here with all these books. These four really are. This one's a legendary cover with Captain America Annual. It's like one of the top 10 eye-appealing covers. You have Strange Tales 111. My goodness. First appearance of Mordo. That is going so cheap right now. Star Wars 1, like we already know that that's kind of pumping much. I think for me the bigger plays are the ones that are being overlooked. So I'd kind of gravitate more to getting more Strange Tales 110, Strange Tales 111, because we're going to get more Strange Tales as we go. We're going to get more Thor books, especially with Thor coming out. That's going to be in the immediate future. But you've got to imagine they're going to bring out the big guns for the San Diego Comic-Con marketing. That's going to be all about big comics and some big collectibles. Because over there, don't get me wrong, they also sell a lot of statues. Silver Surfer Black. This is the first appearance of Puma. See, this week of comics was one of the weaker ones in the app. So these are ones that I would say like grab them if you can get them real cheap for like the very rare editions, like secret rares, ultra rare type stuff. If you can get really good deals on those, I mean, I really love the cover of the Psylocke first appearance for a book that's probably not going to get a lot of respect for a while. This one's cool. I mean, it's not even truly. It's really the first appearance of Betsy Braddock, who becomes Psylocke in this book. But the ultra rare art and the rare art look really nice. Really like these two covers, and I think ultra rares are a play right now. There's only about 500 more ultra rares than there are secret rares on average, so that can be like one of those ones that, hey, I can't get the secret rare, which is like 10x the ultra rare, but the ultra rare only has 500 more editions and it has original artwork by great artists that are usually tagged on Instagram or have their other social media tag, and you can look at their art. It's really spectacular. Let's see. Let's see what else. Out of the new stuff, I think to wrap up the video, that are plays because it came out in a bull market and it's underpriced, and we're talking great comics, and I think it's like you want to close that gap, and the gap will get closed as soon as more users come in. We want to look at, let's see, Werewolf by Night for sure. First appearance of Morbius is another play, especially for the higher like rarities that I was talking about, like ultra rares and stuff. But if you're like I'm more on a budget, NYX first appearance of X-23. I don't think this is her first appearance, but this is a very valuable comic. So I might be wrong on the first appearance thing, but yeah, very good read. Um, you know, what else do we have? After that, it's not that the rest are fluff. I'm just trying to look at the best opportunities for really high tier comic book value and in real life. And Ghost Rider, yeah, Marvel Spotlight 5 for sure. Um, First appearance of Bishop, I like also in those rare editions, or really cool. Like if you could pull, I know this one didn't come out in '63. This was let's see, I have the book right here. I think it's 1990, 91. So you'd want a 1991 mint number, or a 616, or a 1963, because I mean, that's for a lot of other books, and it's probably like people like to match up their mint numbers. But we'll get into mint numbers at another video. Um, I think mint numbers do matter, but I think it doesn't always have to be the lowest one, and I'll talk about that at a later time because I know mint numbers could be triggering either way. Out of these books, let's see. I think we were still pretty bullish around this time. Yep. So I think that wraps it up for most of the comics that came out when things were down, and that would be great opportunities. This is just kind of off the cuff of my head of the timeline we were in. I pretty much think that after the NYX book, um, anything above that in terms of like the ones I went over, like Werewolf by Night, um, Morbius, let's see, Psylocke, Strange Tales 111, Strange Tales 110, Captain America Annual, Vengeance, first appearance, right there of oh man, it's leaving me right now. America Chavez. First appearance of Black Cat. First appearance of Cable. There's a lot of good ones. Nick Fury right here. The Avengers #4. And again, I understand if you have a budget, you can't get them all, but maybe you want to like diversify a little or stack some of the higher tier ones. And I think like Avengers 4 falls in that, Strange Tales falls in that. There's books that are really going to go up. Young Avengers has potential. We don't know how well they're going to do as a team. We still haven't seen them form as a team yet. But it will be cool going forward to see what goes down. I really like being able to do videos like this. And again, I want to shout out a lot of the other content creators. You guys inspire me. you know, VV Vision, Superstar Money, Rob, thank you guys, Rob and Joe, Dino, Cavell, Randy, Rob, my collectibles, so yeah, like you guys are doing great content, and I want to help out with comics where I can. I feel like there's a lot of underrated plays, and you guys could benefit. Like, you know, it's not financial advice again, but it's kind of the things I'm doing myself, and I'm trying to look at the bigger comics, some spec, a percentage of spec, but a bigger percentage of just ones that have been consistent with their value over the years in the physical world, because it's pretty cool to have them, to not worry about them degrading, to not worry about space in your shelves. Comics take up a lot of space. So it's a cool way to collect certain books that are out of my reach financially, yet I can still read the storyline as a Marvel fan, as a Marvel nerd, and get to know, you know, the story, of Magneto's children, and we're gonna get Polaris soon to add. We already got Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff. So it's I get to have a lot of fun with this app in my own unique way of collecting, and I want everyone else to do the same. If you don't know comics but you want to get into comics, that's what's the beauty of this app. It can turn you on to other collecting in real life, and to have, that physical book to match up, with your NFT is a lot of fun, and then you can always you can always go the grading way and start getting into a new hobby. It's really cool, and obviously the utility and the investing makes it a lot of fun, because that this is one of the most important properties that we've seen. And Marvel is changing a lot of our childhood, the way we imagine the characters, and now we get to see them in the real world. And now for our children to kind of grow up, they have these Marvel Mighties. I feel like that's for our kids. I feel like that's for the next generation. I feel like it's sort of like the Marvel shows that we're seeing for our kids on Disney and on other, you know like Disney Plus and stuff, where they're getting the kids into Spider-Man in different ways than we used to get into it. So you get them young, and it's very smart. And I love what Vivi's doing, because as the technology catches, you're gonna see if the real people that were able to hold these items are gonna see the true benefit of them. And it's not just going to be about the money at that point. They're also going to have experiences that others that sold early won't get. So don't try to convince your family. Don't try to convince your friends. Like, if they see your passion and they feel like, man, this guy's like, I don't know. I don't know if it's the right move or not, but I want to do it. Hey, good for them, but you got to do it for yourself. So just stay committed to your investment, and you can't go wrong, especially if it's something so many people love and it's part of their soul. And I feel like Marvel's part of everybody that enjoyed superheroes growing up. And Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, those creators back then, they changed things for the better. They diversified. They included characters that, whoa, that's me. Like, and everyone can get into. And I love seeing the way Marvel's going nowadays. So yeah, I guess that's my message, and I hope you all have a marvelous day. Please like if you enjoy this. Take care. Peace, people. Peace.